see Mickey Minnie walk down Main Street wearing all our pins. We'll wait in line for Mine Train and watch the parade wave to Piglet Pooh and all their friends.
Hello there, and welcome to my YouTube. I have not done a YouTube in a long time. I don't think I have any videos on here. Pretty sure I don't have any videos on here, but we're starting back up. If you're new here, my name is Alexis, but everyone just calls me Lexi. So please go ahead and call me that. I currently live in New York, upstate New York, and I am 30 years old. You're probably wondering, why are you doing YouTube? Well, as the title states, I am going to the Disney College Program in Orlando, Florida. So this video is going to be about my application, the timeline, and all of that fun jazz. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, this is going to be my second program. I did my first program in 2013. I did not finish it. I actually ended up having to leave about 4 months in-ish, 4-ish months in. I have worked for the company on and off, like part-time and full-time. Over like since then, I've worked for Disney Store as well. I'm a travel agent, so I have like my Disney College of Knowledge done and all of that. So yes, so I am going to be doing the fall of 2024. And it's from May until January is when my specific dates are. I check in May 6th and I check out January 2nd. So back in the day, so 2013, 2014, before that, and a little bit after that, that would be considered Fall Advantage. But they're not doing like Fall Advantage stuff anymore. I hate the glare. It's just fall and spring, and like I said, I am going to be fall of 2024, so I will be there from May until January. I'm living upstate New York, so I will be traveling down. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a bus or if I'm going to take a train. I kind of want to take a train because I've never taken a train before, and my last experience with the bus was not a good one. And yeah, I would say I'm going to fly, but I'm probably going to have way too much stuff to do that. So yeah, so I will be traveling down. I'm actually probably going to be going down a little early, just because living situations are kind of up in arms at the moment. So I'm going down a little early, which is totally fine because I work from home, so I am able to do that. But yeah, so applications for fall 2024 came out on January 22nd, if I remember correctly. I applied on January 28th. I did not plan on applying until a little later, because that's what I normally do. Normally I'll apply for jobs, like especially for Disney, a little like afterwards, because then like do other interviews, and then they're like, you know what, like we have interviews, like we want, you know what I mean? So I always try to wait. I really wish I could get this glare to go away because it's really annoying. But yeah, so I applied on January 28th, and I immediately got my email to schedule my phone interview. So those of you who've done programs like in the past, like 4-ish and more years ago, used to have to do a web-based interview. We do not have to do that anymore. It goes right to a phone interview. So I actually scheduled my phone interview for the very next day. How that even happened, I do not know. I don't know how there was any like available for the very next day, but there was. So I scheduled my interview for January 29th at 10 a.m. They do say to be available 15 minutes ahead of your appointment time to 15 minutes afterwards, because they could call like earlier or later. Mine called at 10:06. My recruiter / interviewer called at 10:06, and my phone interview lasted 20 minutes. It was just general questions about like living on my own, what my my previous experience with the company. A lot of my questions were geared towards my experience with the company before, like my roles and stuff. And so it was really nice. And her family is from like 4-ish hours from where I live, like from Erie, PA, so about 4-ish hours from where I live, like where I grew up. So we kind of like bonded over like how the cold weather and like how it's nice being gonna be nice being in the warmth again and all of that. So it was very like personable, and I really enjoyed that. I was kind of nervous just because I did apply for spring 2024, so I would have checked in January. But I got accepted. But I when I got my acceptance, it was the same week that rent was due, and I just did not have the money to pay my fee. So I was like really like upset about that. And I was like, I really hope that like this doesn't stop. And I did tell her that. I was like, I did get accepted for spring, but I wasn't able to do it, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to pay my fees. And so she was like, no, I understand. I was like, I'm like happy the same week that rent was due. I was like watching the same week rent was due, and of course it was. So I did not do spring 2024. Yes, I've done the college program before, but this is definitely different. The process is different. Housing is going to be way different. I've been to Flamingo Crossing before, because like other college programmers that a friend of mine knew, like we've gone over and hung out a couple times. But other than that, like I've never lived in Flamingo. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos, but that's about it. But yeah, so I joined the Facebook pages, rejoined them because I wasn't a part of them or anything, and just started getting to know people just in case. I got the emails. Thank you for interviewing. My interviewer said that I should hear back within 2 weeks of my phone interview. So I was like, okay, like mid-February. But I opened my email one day and there was an acceptance, and I was accepted on February 1st. So that I was shocked. I did not expect that at all because, like I said, I applied on the 28th, I had an interview on the 29th, and then the 1st I got my email that I was accepted. So I got my email. And it's definitely a lot, like, I feel like longer process than it was back when I did my original program. You get a lot more, like, emails, and, like, you have to, like, wait to get, like, your role and your housing and all of that, and, like, a longer period of time. The only thing the email says, your acceptance letter says is, thank you for, you've been chosen to participate in the college program, and you're ready to pay. That's it. And then, like, that's it. That's all you get, pretty much. So when you do get your email that you've accepted, you have to go on and accept your offer. So there's three steps. You have to accept so you have 7 days from getting your acceptance email to fully accept your offer. So there are like 3 steps. So the first step is you go in and you respond to your offer, like you read your offer letter, you say yes or no, you're going to accept. And then after that, you have to submit your program fees. So the first program fee, so there's going to be 2 program fees, and the one is you pay to accept your offer, like to fully accept your offer, and then your second program fee is, I believe your second program fee is like when you when you do your housing stuff. So the program fee was $280 to accept my program. And then when you do that, you get an email for like additional information. So I paid my fees on the 2nd, so the day after. Yeah, I paid my fees on the 2nd. So you would sign into dorms like you normally, like you did before, if you've done before. They'll give you like all your dorms information. Mine was the same because I lived in housing before. And then, yeah, so I officially accepted my program, like paid my $280 fee, on the 2nd. And I chose, like I said, I chose May 6th to January. So at first I chose January 16th as my departure date. That kind of changed. But I was able to go in and change my dates. So yeah, so I paid my program fees, and then I got my email. So I got an email saying like, welcome to Disney College Program team. And so then I got my other email. So your third email is like, it just, it's like, say, like asking if you have like medical accommodation or religious accommodation, anything like that. A pre-arrival background check and tax credit thing. And then I got my email. So the first email I got after paying my fees was like a personal details one. And that one just was like asking my name, my date of birth. I think that might have been it. And maybe my gender, possibly, if I remember correctly. It was like, it was just last week, but and then after that, I got an email. So the third email and this fourth email about my background check stuff. So it's a background check initiation. So it's just like your name, date of birth, your gender, and I think your social security number, because that way they can get the background check initiated. I have not gotten my email yet for the work opportunity tax credit thing that every job makes you do, So I got all of those on the same day, like the same day that I paid my fees. I have not gotten any emails since, but yeah, so I am going back to Disney. So I mentioned that I changed my dates. So, just like any other program, before college program I've done before, you have roommates, so, or apartment mates if you are living in a 4x2 or 4x4. And the Facebook pages I think are a really good tool to have. I'm always on them. People post like roommate surveys on there. There's lots of questions. There's alumni on there and all of that stuff. And I actually found my roommate from one of the pages, but then I joined a group me for May arrivals, and her and I like immediately hit it off. Like, I joined on Snapchat. We talk every day already. She's coming from Rhode Island, so we both know about the cold. Her and her boyfriend's taking a train and all of that. So we're planning on being roommates, hopefully, depending on how the linking works, because the linking's a little different now than it was when I did my CP. But in order to the one thing I will say, in order to choose to link with a roommate, you have to have the same arrival and departure date. And she talked about like me like being her apartment mate, and I was like, oh my gosh, so we should, like, that'd be really cool, or like, that'd be really cool. And then she told me that her arrival date was, or she was leaving on January 2nd. I was like, oh no, I changed my date because I had mine for the 16th, which, like, there really wasn't like a rhyme or reason to do that. I just was like, so I'm like, that's the very first check-in is the 6th, the very last checkout is the 16th. Could be a little longer, but I don't mind. So I didn't really mind. So I was able to go into my dorms registration. Because, like, you get an email, like, you get an email where you, like, the email where you sign into your dorms, you can sign back into, because that's, like, where you're gonna, like, register for dorms, and the dorms registration. That's where you're gonna, like, when you're in the program, you're gonna, like, do your events and stuff. So you have access, like, to log into that. And so you're allowed to go in, like, you can go in and change your dates as long as it lets you, and it let me. So I changed my date to the 2nd, so now I'm only there till the 2nd, which is fine, because school starts back up on the 20th of January, like, around the 20th, and it gives me time to come back to New York and move in on campus and all of that if I decide to. Yeah, so I'm going back to Disney. My application, so you're probably wondering, like, how did you get accepted so quickly? Like, what did you choose for your roles? Like, what, and all of that. Like I said, I honestly don't know how I got accepted. I don't know how. I was in the first wave of, like, the first wave. So there was, like, acceptances, I guess, a couple weeks before that went out. But just, like, a few people here and there. I was in, like, a wave of acceptances. Like, there was a lot of us who got accepted. So, and I'm not going to sit here and say, like, oh, like, your acceptance is based on, like, what roles you choose. Like, if you only choose your own role, like, you might not get it. But, like, someone posted today how they only chose one role for spring, and that's what they got. I don't know what role that it was. I didn't ask. But the one thing is, like I said, it's very different now than what it used to be. So before, so during my first program, 2020 in 2013, there would be a list of roles, and you would put high interest, low interest, or no interest. That's not the case this time. So they have like their top 3 roles that like they're desperate for, and you can't choose. So the top 3 roles that they have, you can't choose no. It's either low or high. And the top 3 roles that they have, because that's the ones that are most in demand, are custodial, house person, so housekeeping, or mousekeeping, and quick service food and beverage. So this is what I did personally. Custodial, I put low interest. House person, I put low interest. Part of that is because of some health things, like me doing custodial might be a lot for me to do, like out in the heat all the time. Yes, I go to the parks forever, but it's different, like working and like sweeping and like doing all that in the heat constantly. House person, I just put low interest because I don't like cleaning rooms really much. It's not something I've done it before. I used to work at a hotel, but I just was like, it's not something I want to do. And I put high interest for quick service because I don't hate quick service. So my first program, I had quick service, and I didn't hate my job, but I did not like my job, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't fighting like to stay on my college program. I have worked food and beverage. I worked at Chick-fil-A. I worked at Universal in food and beverage in Wizarding World, and most recently I worked at ABC Commissary as part-time, and I don't hate it. It's just not my preference, but I was like, you know what? If I get stuck in food and beverage, it is what it is, you know, not a big deal. And then after that, they have all the other roles that you could do, and it's just like, would you be interested in these? And you can put yes or no. So this is what I did. So attractions, I put yes. Bell service, dispatch, greeter, I put no, which I don't know why I put no, because I wouldn't mind doing that. But character attendant, I put no. I love my characters, and I have a really good friend that was a character attendant, and he loved it, but I don't think I'd be able to do it. Character performer, I put yes. You gotta go to auditions for character performers. I'm still debating if I'm going to go. There is one in New York City, Philadelphia. There's one somewhere near me, like, that I could get to, but I'm also kind of nervous because I don't know. I have not danced in a really long time, and yeah. But I put character performer, I put yes. Children's activities, I put yes. Club level lounge, I put yes. I wish I could put absolutely, but I couldn't. Convention guide, yes. Costuming operations, I put no. Lifeguard, no. Merchandise, yes. I love merchandise. Monorail, yes. Photo pass, no. Recreation attractions, yes. Resort concierge, yes. Cedar, yes. Skyliner, I put no. Vacation planner, yes, which I wish I could do a heck yes. And watercraft, I put no. I don't know why I put no for watercraft, because I think it'd be really cool, but also that makes me nervy. So I am currently in school for hospitality, event, and tourism management. So doing like vacation planning or convention guide, which is events, like is something that would very much help my major. And like I said, like there was a guy who basically put no for everything except for the one role that he really wanted, and that's the role that he got. I get nervous doing those things because you have to be very receptive to roles, and I think you might have a greater chance if you do put like more role options, but I'm not discouraging you from not putting, only 1 or 2 or 3 roles. Like if you want to put low for the top 3 that they need people for, and then like no for all of them but vacation planning and concierge, like you can do that. But yeah, so this is my timeline. Like I'm saying, this is just my timeline. I don't know why it happened so quickly. It just did. And it's kind of nice that it did work out this quickly. But now I have to like wait for like my role longer, and I have to wait for like the housing stuff a little longer. Like, longer meaning, like, I got accepted already. So, like, it's not like people, like, who haven't got accepted because, like, they're just waiting to get accepted. And they might get accepted, you know, like, a month before they check in. So they could get their stuff, like, their, you know, like, their dorm stuff and their role, like, quickly. I mean, the role thing is just, like, in general. Oh, girl, sorry. So, I mean, the role thing you get 2 weeks before, I believe, is what I read. I said things are definitely different. But yeah, so that is my announcement. I know, like I said, today is the 8th. Today's Thursday, the 8th, and I've been accepted for a week now. Yeah, because I got accepted on the 1st. But I did not want to do a video because I didn't tell anybody yet. Up until, like, I think 2 days ago, I told my dad, I was like, by the way, and he's like a little not happy about it. He's not mad about it, but he's also not happy about it because I've been to, you know, I've lived in Florida a bunch of times. But I'm like, it's only 8 months. Like, I'll be back home. Like, you know, I'm not like staying there. I mean, things could change, but as of right now, I'm going through the college program, and that's what I'm doing. And then I'm coming back home. I'm coming back to New York to live on campus at school. So I never really had like the like on campus college, like living on campus, like in a dorm, even though I did the college program, but I think it's different. I never really had like the experience of like living on like campus and like going to sports stuff and like going to like trivia or using like the like cafeteria and stuff like that. I mean, like when I first went to school, I went to a Christian school, so like I lived in a dorm and stuff like that, so I was like able to do that stuff. But I also had to work on campus, and it was very strict. But yeah, so I've never really had that like experience, if that makes sense, like at like a community school or like a college or university. So yeah, so this video is going on 22 minutes almost. But yeah, ignore this shirt right now because my next video is probably gonna have the same shirt on. So I'm gonna do a DCP tag, and then I'm going to do probably an updated DCP tag like later on. But I have to make sure I keep doing these because I'm really bad at this whole vlogging and social media thing. Like, I can be on Snapchat and like keep you updated through Snapchat, but I think this is a lot different. And I haven't seen a lot of people like for the fall yet doing vlogs. I'm not checking like a vlogging camera or using my phone because like this is just obviously I can't take my laptop like vlogging in the parks and stuff. But because like this anyway. So yeah, so this is gonna be the end of this one, and I'm gonna just jump right into the next one for my DCP tag. All right, thank you, and have a magical day. Bye.